ドジャースタジアムでのメッツとの NLCS リマッチ、延長10回の激闘の末に3対4で惜しくも敗戦となりました。序盤にリンドーアのソロホームランで先制を許すも、7回に大谷翔平選手がメジャー最多タイとなる23号ホームランで反撃。9回裏には1点差を追いつく劇的な展開を見せましたが、10回にタナースコットが痛恨の2失点、最終回はアンディパヘスの敵地打で1点を返し、1、2塁のチャンスを作るも、あと一歩及ばずの結果でした。試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Hello, welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. John Hartung here alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garciaparra, the first of four in this NLCS rematch between the Dodgers and the Mets. The Dodgers fall in 10 innings. A lot of late dramatics in this game. The Dodgers able to tie it in the bottom of the ninth against Edwin Diaz, who's really been lights out for the better part of really more than a month, Jerry. But in the top of the 10th inning, the Mets get two. Dodgers answer with one. They still had first and second, nobody out, just not able to get at least that tying run in.
Yeah, listen, first and foremost, Dustin May really pitched a well ball game against a really good Mets team. Once again, we knew coming in, the Mets playing great baseball. Their pitching staff has been outstanding. They did a good job kind of stifling this Dodger offense. Dodgers had their opportunities, just fell short.
Yeah, you were 2 for 11 for runners in scoring position, so you had some opportunities, especially early in the game, too, especially against the starter for the Mets. I mean, Paul Blackburn, for his first start of the season, he did an excellent job really stifling the offense of the Dodgers, but Dustin May gave this team a chance to win, and also the guys coming out of the bullpen, obviously, Tanner Scott struggled once again, but the other guys, they were perfect. You know, Jack Dreyer and Luke Trino, they were outstanding. So they gave them a chance to come out there and get this game and to be able to tie this game and ultimately try to win it. They left guys there. They just fell short.
Dodgers were 4-2 this season, and extra innings now 4-3. Nomar, you talked about the 10th inning. Tanner Scott gave up a couple of quick runs in that top of the inning, and then the Dodgers tried to bounce back in the bottom half, just not able to get that one last key hit.
Yeah, you know, it was one thing about just giving up that one run. You know, that guy that they put on second base. You give up that one, but it's really the guy that comes to the plate. You don't want to give up those 2 runs. You got to trust your offense. You know, if they come up in the bottom half, that they'll at least score 1. But obviously, Tanner Scott, once again, you can see the struggles he's been having all season where he's just not able to put guys away, especially in those situations where you're really hoping if he could really put these guys away and give the offense a chance to come back, especially after what they did in the 9th. The momentum all of a sudden was on the Dodgers side. So if they were able to put up a 0 right there in the 10th, I mean, you're feeling so good. You're so excited to really finish off this game. And unfortunately, you can really just kind of feel the wind kind of release from their sails a little bit after he gave up those couple runs. And then you knew as the offense, you're like, okay, we're going to battle. And once again, they did battle. I mean, they had the guy right there to try to tie this game, just fell short.
Yeah, I love the at-bats the Dodgers had, you know, in the bottom half of that inning. Great job of putting themselves in position. Pages continues to have great at-bats. I love this approach of breaking ball down and away, going the other way on a line. Outstanding plate discipline, picking up Tasker Hernandez. I just love the ball striking and staying inside the baseball. Max Muncy, just a tough at-bat. Hit a couple balls hard tonight. Really a tough matchup for him tonight. Really good pitch here. Will Smith just missed this ball. This is a really good swing. It cut on him a little bit away, hits it off the end of the bat, and then Tommy Edman hits the ball hard, and the ball, I don't know if the pitcher caught it or the ball found his glove. He was able to make the play. I just love this approach, especially 2 strikes. Barrels it up. Yeah. I thought it was taken up the middle. I know Francisco Lindor is kind of looming. But credit the Mets, they found a way to win this ball game.
Yeah, you know, we talk about the game being a game of inches. I think it was a lot less than that when we saw it, because we saw that swing by Will Smith just barely off the sweet spot of the bat. And then also Max Muncy. I know we just showed him striking out that last at bat, but prior to that, possibly ending the game where he ended up hitting one just off the end. It was a pretty swing. We all thought maybe he got it, but it was just off the end of the bat. So, I mean, we're talking, you know, less than an inch there where the game might have been determined there.
And same with Shohei Ohtani's sacrifice fly that tied the game in the 9th inning, just so close to being a walk-off home run. Right now, let's head back upstairs, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
Well, the Dodgers battle back to get this game into extra innings, but then give up 2 in the top of the 10th and fall a little bit short 4-3.
Yeah, they out-hit the Mets 9-8, but their hits didn't come with men on base very often. So it was a tough one to watch the offense the way they went, especially against a guy making his debut in 2025. in Blackburn, it really, they just didn't get to him. They didn't see him well, and he changed speeds really well.
Clayton Kershaw goes tomorrow, tries to build off of what he's done his first couple.
He's the same team. You know, they had the rain delay against the Mets, only got 2 innings, but he threw the ball well, and that, you know, gave up only 1 hit, 1 walk, but got out of there with zeros. Hopefully he's feeling real good.
All right, as the Dodgers try to even this series up, they now trail the season series against the Mets 3-1, but 3 still to play this week.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, tough way for the Dodgers to open up this 4-game series with the Mets. Let's show you what happened Monday Night Baseball here at the Ravine. The Dodgers continuing their homestand stretch against the Big Apple teams. Mets in town. Dustin May, Jerry's second pitch of the game to Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, they wanted it down and away. It leaks middle in, and Francisco Lindor does not miss it. Really is having a great year, especially with the long ball. Ambush, 1-0 Mets.
Number 14 on the year for Lindor.
Yeah, I mean, early on in your at-bat, you're probably looking for the middle half. He ends up getting it, puts a great swing on it.
Juan Soto with a runner on first. Hits one to second. That's a tailor-made double play ball.
I mean, love that, too, as a second baseman. Right at you, just quickly turn it, get it to your shortstop, 4-6-3.
And really great to get the ground ball on a 2-0 count against Juan Soto.
Nice play by Freddie Freeman as well. Next up, it is Pete Alonso. Hits a shot to Hae-Sung Kim. For out number 3.
Ball smoke. Great play there by Kim.
Mets have the early lead, top 2. It's May facing Jared Young and picking up his first strikeout of the night.
Oh, mercy. That movement on that breaking ball, are you kidding me?
That was another one where you almost get hit as a batter and you get swing and strike 3.
We have seen that before when Dustin May's out on the mound. Top of the third, 1 down for Francisco Alvarez. And he goes to the sweeper to get another strikeout.
We talk about location and movement. I know he's got velocity, but when you have that location, especially with that breaking ball, I mean, nasty.
Still 1-0 heading to the 4th inning. Brandon Nimmo leading it off for the Mets. And that's a cold strike 3.
Talking about his last outing where he was able to kind of backdoor that breaking ball and he was really effective. This one started off as a ball as well and then came back over the plate.
Juan Soto shoots one the other way this time, and it's going to one-hop for a double.
He kind of fights it off a little bit. I don't know if he saw exactly what he said. He got 2 bases. That pitch up and in. See him kind of fight it off a little. May have been sitting breaking ball, but was able to get a double.
Runners on the corners, 2 down. Dustin May able to get out of it. He strikes out Brett Beatty.
Really nasty pitch right there. You see the excitement and the fire. We love that about Dustin May.
Bottom of the 4th, it's Teoscar Hernandez against Paul Blackburn. And it's a leadoff single.
Really good effort there by Taylor, who really tracks down a lot of balls in center field, especially with 2 strikes. Just find a way to get on. Teoscar does it.
Freddie Freeman up there hits it sharply, but Alonso diving tags the bag. Teo down to second.
And a nice play by Pete Alonso. You tip your hat right there because that was going to go for extra bases.
Max Muncy to center field. Just not quite enough. Dodgers had a few of these deep fly balls that they just missed. Still 1-0, 5th inning. Runners on first and second for Lindor. Drives it to left field, and Conforto makes a really nice catch.
Really good play there by Conforto. Understand the walls bearing down on you a little bit. Able to make the play, keep it in the ballpark, and avoid extra bases.
I mean, there the umpire helping you out, kind of knocking that ball back to Hae-Sung Kim.
And a laugh. Conforto hits him. Brandon Nimmo, though, with 2 outs, hits one that's going to one-hop the wall.
You know, and Dodgers here catch a break here. Ball, Nimmo hits it right over the wall after it bounces. A ground rule double. That runner for first probably would have scored on that double.
Yep.
Still 2-0.
2-0, bottom 5. 1 out for Tommy Edman on his bobblehead night. Chops one to first, and that's a misplay, and Edman is safe.
Yeah. Great job by Tommy Edman. Don't assume hustling down the line.
2 batters later, 2 down for Hae-Sung Kim, and shoots one through that hole on the left side.
I just love his game, especially with 2 strikes. Just looking to put the ball in play. Perfect compliment to the Big Show.
3-1 pitch to Shohei, and Blackburn gets him to roll over on a changeup to end the inning.
as a hitter, frustrated when you roll over on a 3-1 pitch.
We go to the 6th inning. Dustin May facing Jared Young. And that's a swing and a miss. Dalton Rushing will tag him out. 6 innings in the books for Dustin May, allowing just the 2 runs. Mets go to their bullpen as well in the 6th. It's Huascar Brazoban pitching. And Freddie Freeman has himself a 1-out base hit.
That's a pretty good job of Freddie Freeman staying on that split, 92 miles an hour, darting out of the zone, able to barrel it.
Bases loaded, 2 down for Edman, who was in the middle of everything tonight on his bobblehead night, but Brazoban makes a good pitch there to get the swing and a miss.
Yeah, we talked about the Dodgers having opportunities over the course of this game. Talk about 2-out RBIs being important. They just couldn't come through with it.
Jack Dreyer in the 7th inning gets Alvarez for out number 1. He would have a 3-up, 3-down inning.
We talk about our bullpen. It's really been outstanding. Dreyer coming in, pumping strikes, and also punching tickets.
Bottom 7, 2 outs, nobody on for Shohei Ohtani. No more. This ball is absolutely destroyed.
This is crushed. This is, I thought Shohei was being kind to us, trying to hit a ball to us over here on the set once again. I mean, he crushes that ball, and he knew it right off the bat.
I love his reaction, too. After he knew he got it, kind of nodded his head. Okay, I didn't roll over that one. He got through it.
23rd of the year. It's a 2-1 game. The Dodgers get on the board. 8th inning. Dreyer back out there to face Soto. And Soto just gets that one off the end of the bat as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 pitch inning for Jack Dreyer. Going to the 8th inning, Pages against Ryan Stanek with a base hit.
Great job by Andy Pages, staying that ball, just taking it back up the middle.
Next up, Max Muncy. And this is the one, Jerry, with thoughts off the bat. It looks good, but end of the bat for that one as
Max, that's such a good swing right there, just off the end of the bat, just missed.
It's just a matter of timing, just a hair.
Bottom 9, Tommy Edman leading things off against Edwin Diaz, and Edman starting the rally with the base hit.
A good short swing there by Tommy, breaking ball up in the zone, able to barrel it. Really good swing there by Tommy.
Brings up Dalton Rushing. And there goes Tommy Edman, first pitch of that at bat, and he swipes second base.
I love the aggressiveness, understanding. Obviously, Diaz has a hard time not only holding on runners, but also preventing stolen bases. Love aggressive base running.
Rushing would strike out, and then Kim up there, and Nomar, this is a shot, an incredible play by Lindor, but with Kim's speed, he beats it out.
Yeah, really incredible play. He saved the run right there by laying out. I mean, incredible play, and I'm glad Kim was just hustling down the line.
Infield single for Kim. First and third, 1 out for Shohei Ohtani. And Jerry, he nearly got this one.
Great job, especially with the infield, and at least get a sacrifice fly. He does just that, but just missed from hitting a walk-off through and homer.
Sacrifice fly makes it 2-2. And we're going to play some bonus baseball after this one.
Inside out swing, understanding, trying to get the bottom of the baseball, drive it out, get a sac fly.
Top of the 10th inning, Tanner Scott facing Alvarez to lead off the inning and drives this one over Teo's head.
Yeah, this is one where all you're worried about is the hitter. You're not worried about the man on second base. You really have to keep the leadoff guy off second base like there, but he drives the ball the other way, scoring position.
And then Lindor follows with a shot down the line. That makes it 4-2.
Yeah, this one hurt. Obviously, the runner on second base to start the inning. They get that run across, but they added on in that inning.
But here's Pages after Freddie Freeman walks, shoots one into right field for a base hit. That scores Teo, and it's 4-3.
Really says a lot about Andy Pages there. You're thinking, okay, maybe a swing I can drive into, but he just stays on that ball, goes the other way.
Jose Castillo is able to get Muncy for the first out. Will Smith is pinch hitting for Michael Conforto. And this one's just not quite squared up either for out number 2.
Just off the end. A really good swing there by Will Smith. Just caught it off the end of the bat a little bit. Just missed.
Tommy Edman tried to come through to at least tie the game on his bobblehead night, but Budo's able to make the stab. for out number 3. And the Dodgers lose a tough one in the series opener. 4-3 is the final in 10 innings. They are now 36-24. Tanner Scott is tagged with the loss. Dustin May pitched well, allows just 2 runs over his 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. Shohei went 1 for 4 with his 23rd home run, 2 RBIs. Andy Pages 2 for 5 and had an RBI as well. Let's take a look at what's ahead on the Dodgers calendar. 3 more with the Mets. Clayton Kershaw will get the start tomorrow night. Wednesday is Sandy Koufax jersey giveaway night. And Thursday's homestand finale will be a 1 p.m. first pitch here at the Ravine. This weekend, the Dodgers will be in St. Louis. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry, and is Shohei Ohtani with home run number 23 on the season, tying him for the Major League lead.
He's going to get a breaking ball center cut, and the Big Show does not miss it. Light tower power. We talk about hitting a ball into the night. He did that even at Dodger Stadium. The concentration, head down, short to the ball, but long through it. And I would love the kind of nice little head nod. Yep. I got through that. I got all of it. It's a good feeling.
You know, he hit it a long way. The ball wasn't carrying much once it turned into nighttime tonight, and the temperatures really cooled off. Dodgers fall 4-3 in 10 innings. Let's head inside the clubhouse and hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Dustin May, with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Dustin, when you look at just your outing today, obviously for them to start with that home run, how did you find settling in after that? Because it seemed like you kind of found your rhythm probably there until like that 5th inning.
Yeah, it's probably not best idea to start a game throwing a sinker kind of middle to one of the best players in the game. Probably a good thing that he took advantage of it, kind of settled me in, and felt like I started going 5th inning, just kind of some weak stuff, and then bad executed on a couple of throws, and then they took advantage of that as well.
Have you found just kind of now, months now into the season, kind of where you're at on the mound, just kind of rhythm and thing with your body? Do you feel like you're in a spot where you like to be? Because it seems like the results are now kind of more in a more consistent situation.
I feel like I'm in an okay spot. There's definitely some room to grow, but the biggest thing for me at this point, I'm healthy. I feel healthy, like there's no pain. It's my first time in June, so that's exciting for me. Yeah, just got to keep building off of it.
Did you know you set a career high in innings tonight for a season? And
yeah.
I mean, what has it been like to, like you said, kind of be healthy and be able to kind of work through things and build off starts and just kind of be out there and kind of keep building off things? Yeah,
I mean, it's been a long time since I've been able to actually feel healthy and go pitch and compete. So just trying to remember what it felt like in 2019 when I was able to throw the full season and get all of the reps under my belt. It's kind of hard to feel the same things because it's a different body. It's a different way that I feel now than I did then. But it's a good thing to build off of.
What were you just kind of feeling after you got out of that jam in the 4th when you were coming off the mound on the strikeout to Beatty?
Oh, it was just exciting. Definitely. I mean, we didn't have any runs on the board, so I wanted to try to keep it at 1 as long as possible because, like I said, I gave up a solo shot to start the game. It's never a good thing to do. But yeah, it was a big positive boost in my head.
How have you been kind of preparing to see how your body reacts this many innings into a season? Have you been asking around, getting help at all?
No, I mean, I feel good. I've been recovering very well. I've been doing my routine in between starts, what I did before. It's kind of the same as it has always been. It's just I'm not in pain. So that's kind of really where I'm at.
Yeah, Dustin May admitting he would love to have that second pitch of the baseball game back, the one he threw to Francisco Lindor that he hit out for a home run. But 6 innings, Nomar, you allow 2 runs most nights. That's going to win you a ball game.
Yeah, especially with this offense. And, we talked about what was the key before the game, and we said, his last outing against the Guardians, he did a really good job keeping the ball out of the middle part of the plate, more on the corners. When he did have one over the middle of the plate, they took advantage of it. We're going to go to the K zone and see exactly it happened again, but at the same time, wasn't a 3-run bomb. It was early in, and we heard Dustin May talk about it. Said, listen, you can't give a sinker over the middle of the plate against one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. They're going to take advantage of it. And he also said it settled him down. That one over the middle of the plate, the heart of the plate, all right, it's a solo shot, but yeah, you have to settle down, and he did. Now all of a sudden he comes back with that nasty slider underneath the hand. We got to bust out the filthy meter when it breaks that much. Not only that, when it almost hits the batter. This is another swing. It almost hit where the batter's going, wait, that's strike 3, and I got to go back to the dugout after getting hit. And then now he's really finding his release point with that breaking ball, getting it underneath the hands. You saw how excited he was. This one, once again, over the middle of the plate. We talk about catching the corners. That one, I think they were fortunate that it ended up being a ground rule double, but then you really have to mentally lock back in to minimize it right there, and he did it.
We talk about movement and location. We know Dustin May has velocity, but when he is on, when he has a chance to be special, he's got movement, obviously location. He had that majority of the night. 2 runs, 6 innings. You take that every single time from a pitcher, especially with our offense. It just didn't happen for us offensively tonight. Tip your hat to the Mets pitchers. But all in all, I love where Dustin May is trending. He continues to trend upward, and he's continuing to build on his previous starts.
And he mentioned this is the first time he's ever made a start or pitched in any kind of game in the month of June. That's just because of injuries over the course of his season. We still have more to come here from Dodgers Stadium. Everybody knows Jerry's favorite basketball player wore the number 23, and that's how many home runs Shohei Ohtani has on the season. So Jerry's going to go Access 360 on Shohei, and the inevitable MJ reference looming as well. Access Sportsnet Dodgers is brought to you in part by Lexus. Experience amazing. Tonight's Arco top-tier stat line, Shohei Ohtani. 23 home runs on the season, no more. That's the most in franchise history through the team's first 60 games.
I mean, incredible. I mean, he drives the ball out to all fields. He is must-see TV. Every time he comes up to the plate, everybody stops to watch because you know something special is going to happen. We even thought maybe he was going to walk off today this game with a home run the other way, but just fell short. But man, the one he did hit, that was an absolute bomb.
Certainly was. Jerry, he is on pace for 62 home runs this season. You should break down what he did on number 23 tonight.
You know, we talk about special athletes, special players. This is a historic franchise. This Dodger team, and 23 bombs in 60 games. We got to go Access 360 and break this down. First pitch swinging, he gets going to breaking ball. Center cut, does not miss it. We talk about light tower power. That's what the Big Show possesses. Outstanding swing. He knew right away after he made contact. It was launched. Exit velo 103.7. But with that exit velo, the ideal launch angle is 31 degrees. A la Dave Winfield back in the day, who wore 31 all the time. Kind of like Dave Winfield, Ohtani possesses that light tower power. One more look at it once again. Hang time, 5.5 seconds. Jordan-esque hang time, John.
There it is.
Love seeing it.
There it is.
Again, Shohei Ohtani is doing special things at the plate. And you got to remember, he's getting ready to pitch in the second half. So he's throwing bullpens, sim games as well. So he's got to be a little tired. But no, he continues to do amazing things at the plate. One of the best athletes we've ever seen.
Yeah, really ramping up in the month of May, throwing bullpens, even a sim game. And all he did was hit 15 home runs in the month, which tied a franchise record for most home runs in a calendar month for the Dodgers. Well, it's 8 strikeouts tonight for the Dodgers. So tomorrow you can go to Jack in the Box, get a free Jumbo Jack with the purchase of a large drink, only at LA area restaurants tonight. Dustin May, he carried most of the load as he had 5 of those 8 strikeouts for the Dodgers. Unfortunately, it would come in a losing effort as the Mets pull it out 4-3 in 10 innings. Let's head inside and hear from the skipper, Dave Roberts, talking with the media.
I think with Tanner, it's just mislocation. I think that it's, you know, you look at the Alvarez, the Lindor was down, but it was middle. I just think it's just sort of just missing in the big part of the plate or the wrong part of the plate, given a particular hitter. And, you know, every my eyes and talking to our pitching guys, the stuff's good. It's just the command just isn't where it needs to be right now. You know, it just seems like if probably so, if the stuff is there and you're not kind of finally commanding the baseball, that certainly does speak to mechanical issues, and it's probably really minute, but obviously making a big difference, because obviously the intent isn't to, go to the middle part of the plate where hitters like to swing the bat.
Obviously, you guys are kind of short-handed in the pen, but has it reached a point with him where he needs a reset or a softer landing spot in some of these games? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's also, we're still trying to win games, and obviously you have to look at who's available and, who can handle leverage and things like that. And I think, to be quite honest, we're relying a lot on 2 rookies. And so you got to give credit to Jack and Ben, but it's the other guys' responsibilities as well, who've been through the trials and had a lot more experience in those 2 players. So I just don't feel it's right to put everything on those 2 young players. I don't.
Do you feel like you have another option in closer?
Right now it's kind of how the game, plays out, and you try to get to the 9th inning with the lead, and we came back, fought back in the 9th today, and and in other games you have to kind of pick matchups and who's throwing the baseball well and who you believe in and who can kind of manage that situation. And so there's not one particular closer right now, and I think I've shown that, using different guys and leverage and finishing games and things like that. But yeah, right now there is no dedicated closer.
If you're in a save situation the next couple games and the matchups on paper look favorable for Tanner, would you go to him still, or would you consider him?
Yeah, I would. And I think that it's one of those things that sometimes we don't have the luxury always of having a reset for guys, given the inexperience, the usage of certain guys. But there are guys, there's a few guys that I feel comfortable finishing a game with, though.
Was Mookie available?
Yeah, Mookie was available.
With the pinch hit with Conforto and Smith, kind of how did that play out?
I was just kind of wanting to wait as long as I could to see if they were going to keep Castillo in the game, to potentially give Michael a different matchup with Budo. But at the end of the day, I was going to take my chance on Will getting a hit against a neutral Budo, and then Tommy getting a hit.
For as long as Dustin's been here, does it surprise you that he's has a career high in starts and innings pitched today?
I'm not surprised. I mean, he's worked hard to get back. He's been very efficient. I think that just the pitch mix has been really good, and I think the last few, Dalton's done a fantastic job with him, and he's strong, and so there's a lot more in there, and so not terribly surprised, but yeah, it's interesting given his workload over the last couple of years, and I just realized that this is the most he's thrown. So, but I feel he's in a good spot physically.
Dave Roberts getting a number of questions about the Dodgers closer situation, about Tanner Scott's struggles as well. And Nomar, going back to your days with the Red Sox, you always said Mariano Rivera was the most important pitcher on that team. You would say it about Kenley Jansen, too. You felt like he was the most important pitcher on this staff. And Tanner Scott's struggles, I think they're probably a little more magnified because you've lost so many relievers. You have 9 relievers on the IL. You don't have Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan, Brusdar Graterol, just to name 3.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about, remember at the beginning of the season, we were talking about a closer by committee, but he had a committee of closers.
Yep.
And they're all hurt. And that's sad. And that's a major problem. And not only that, when you have guys that are hurt, and then it does magnify guys who are struggling. So if Tanner Scott was struggling and those guys were not hurt, like, okay, well, we can turn it over to Blake Trinan. We can have somebody else like an Evan Phillips and maybe a leverage to get it to a Blake Trinan, or vice versa, whatever it may be. And you can kind of see how the game plays out. He just touched on it. He was very honest on there, saying, listen, right now, your high leverage guys and the guys you're really leaning on are rookies. 2 rookies that have gone out there and really have shown and done the job. And then you're also worried about, okay, for rookies, how much much are they going to tax those guys, and what does that mean? Because these are the guys you're going to go. You need and have been getting the job done. I mean, Jack Dreyer did a tremendous job once again today to keep the game close so that potentially they could come back in the ninth. They tied it, but almost win that game. And so, yeah, this is it's really tough because now, yeah, you signed Tanner Scott to be that closer, to be the guy that you had all the other guys to get to him so he can close out the games. And if that's not happening, now you're really just going, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to see who's available, who hasn't been used as much. I'm going to have to look at matchups. And it also weighs on the offense. I've touched on that, why those guys were so important, like Kenley Jansen, Mario, and Rivera, because it shortened the game, and it helps the rest of your team over the course of a season. Now, offense, you're thinking, okay, we got to score, and even if we have a lead, no lead is safe, but we got to keep going.
Listen, I applaud manager Dave Roberts for being so candid, so honest. They've done such a great job of putting themselves in position, being in first place in the division. We have lost so many difference makers. It is hard to find one or two guys at the back end of a bullpen that can shut down that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. We've lost a plethora of guys. We mentioned Bruiser Growler. Obviously, Blake Trinan is now. Evans Phillips is lost for this season. It's just so difficult to find guys like that. You just can't shake a tree and find, okay, you're going to be my 8th inning guy, you're going to be my closer. So when a guy like a Tanner Scott, who is struggling a little bit right now, it hurts our bullpen. Make no mistake about it. But again, Dodgers continue to try to find ways. And listen, I applaud our rookies. They've done a great job.
All right, let's head inside the clubhouse right now and hear from Tanner Scott talking with the media.
We've obviously talked at length some of the frustrations that you're feeling just with a game like today. What do you think is kind of leading to the results as of now?
Missed locations, especially down in the zone to hitters that I'm supposed to be in different spots, and I'm just not hitting my location, and it's costing us.
Do you think that's something maybe mechanically on your side, just something that I guess maybe coaches are seeing at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely probably mechanics, and it's happened too much, and it's frustrating, especially when we battled back and it didn't go my way.
How do you get out of something like this stretch?
Keep working, look at everything, talk to Mark, Connor, Bardo, and figure it out so it stops.
Tanner, anything you noticed with your fastball and how it's playing right now?
Yeah, it's getting hit a lot, so it sucks right now. And last year I relied on it a lot, and this year it's been getting hit, and I'm missing locations.
Is the quality of the pitch where you need it to be, though, and it's just missed location?
I mean, if it's in the right spot, it usually doesn't get hit, and if I miss the location, it usually gets hit.
Tuesday will be Kershaw Day at the Ravine. Clayton Kershaw starting the second of this 4-game series, looking for his first win of 2025. Nomar's had a lot of success against the Mets in his career, 11-0 with an ERA of 2 in the regular season. What are you hoping to see out of Kersh tomorrow?
Oh, well, I'm hoping to see what we saw out of Kershaw a couple innings over there in New York. He looked really good, and obviously the rain came and shortened that outing. But, he expects to go out there and be that stopper. You get that loss, you get 2 losses in a row here. He wants to be that stopper and get them back in that win column.
Absolutely, be that stopper. Give us a chance to win Kershaw Day tomorrow.
All right, that does it for this edition of Access Sportsnet Dodgers. For Jerry, Nomar, and Kirsten, I am John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Pregame once again, 6 p.m. right here on Sportsnet LA.
本当に惜しい敗戦でしたが、チームの粘り強さは十分に見えた試合でしたね。大谷翔平選手は60試合で23本塁打というフランチャイズ記録のペースで、その一撃は 5.5 秒の滞空時間を記録する特大弾でした。ダスティン・メイ投手も健康な状態で6月を迎えられたことの価値を語っており、今後の登板に期待が持てます。明日はクレイトン・カーショー投手がメッツ戦で通算11勝0敗という素晴らしい成績を誇っているので、必ずや勝利をもたらしてくれるでしょう。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。